Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are a true open world experience. However, if you free roam too much, you may find yourself getting into trouble. So let's have a look at what the correct order of doing the storyline is. So what we have here is the Victory Road Path, so that's all 8 gyms, with the majority of them being in the left-hand side. So the best way to tackle these gyms is to go from bug to grass, and then grass over to electric, and then electric to water, water to normal, normal to ghost, ghost to psychic, and then psychic to ice. In terms of the leveling and scaling of this path, it's going to be like a traditional Pokemon experience. So you will find that there's only about a small amount of level gap between each gym. So if you are looking to have kind of the traditional Pokemon experience as your first thing, you can definitely do that with the gym path without having to kind of interact too much with the other storylines. Now, one of the benefits of actually keeping on top of the gym path is the fact that this is the only way to make it so that the Pokemon obey you as they get to higher levels. So like Pokemon games in the past, if you fought a gym leader, they would tell you that X level will now obey you. If you try to kind of do the other storylines about completing any of the gyms, you'll find that your Pokemon will quickly not obey you, and you may have an even harder time of getting through everything. So coming up next, we have the Starfall Street storyline. Compared to the gym storyline, this will probably be about like a medium difficulty. I say this because the difference between the dark, fire, and poison encounters aren't too much. However, after the poison encounter, it is a big jump between levels to take on the fairy and the fighting encounters. So you could go dark, fire, poison without much of an issue, but you will find that you'll have to grind out a little to kind of do the fairy and the fighting gyms. Now, one of the benefits of doing the Starfall Street storylines is the fact that you can get a lot of LP out of the encounters, and you also get access to new TMs. So after you defeat every kind of encounter, your benefactor essentially will give you some TMs as well as LP. LP is really good to have because you can use it to purchase the materials required to make TMs, but it can also be used instead of coins in situations where you might not have enough. So it's very good to kind of keep on top of your LP, and the Starfall Street storyline in general is kind of exciting, and the characters that you meet will probably be one of the best designs you've ever seen. And last of all, we have the Path of Legends storyline. This is where you go around the map to kind of take out the Titans. And in terms of difficulty levels, it may be slightly harder than Starfall Street, but it could be argued that they're either the same, or maybe even Starfall Street might be a little bit tougher. Now, with this one, you will be going from rock to flying, flying to steel, steel back to ground, and then ground up to the dragon. One of the benefits of actually doing the Titans is the fact that every time you defeat a Titan, your legendary bike will basically get a new ability, and this allows you to kind of traverse through the map a lot easier. From my experience, you definitely can get around the map without having the upgrades, but it does make things a lot easier to get those upgrades sorted kind of in a timely fashion. Another benefit of doing the Path of Legends, at least in my eyes, is the fact that the storyline is kind of unique to Pokemon, and I've actually found myself enjoying it a lot. If you're a lore buff, you will find out a lot of things in terms of like the history of the area and kind of how these herbs and stuff kind of fit in with the overarching storyline and the post-game content. So it is a good idea to kind of do it as soon as you can if that's something you're interested in. And now what we have here is the overall ultimate path of taking care of all the storylines without having to worry too much about the leveling. As you can see, there is a lot of backtracking and going across the map. So you're going bug to rock to grass, then you're going all the way over to flying and then to dark, and then from dark over to electric and then to fire and then to steel. So you do get to spend a little bit of time on the one side of the map. And then you'll be going all the way over to the water before coming back to take care of the poison. And then we go back again to take care of steel, ghost, and then we go over to ground, go down to psychic, and then we will be going up to the ice gym before going fairy, dragon, and finally finishing off at the fighting. So this pathing isn't exactly optimal in the fact that it's not a straight line, but in terms of the leveling scale, it's your best way to do it. One of the benefits of these Pokemon games is the fact that every kind of Pokemon Center has a flight point. So once you kind of say go over to the water gym, because you've already kind of been near the steel gym and the electric gym, you should be able to quickly double back and then quickly run up to the poison, and then again double back over to the water to go take on the normal. The major benefit of following this pathing outside of the leveling scale and also doing the gyms so that the Pokemon actually obey you is the fact that a lot of the Titan Pokemon are being taken care of fairly early in the encounters. So by the time you're done with the steel encounter, which isn't even 50% of the overall encounters, you will have access to 3 of your legendary's abilities, which will make traversing the map even easier on top of what we get from flying around. Now, in terms of all the levels of the map, I don't actually want to go out and tell you all of those because I think it'd be a bit more of a surprise if you actually come to the area and kind of go, oh, my Pokemon need to be this level, let's grind it out a little, opposed to me kind of giving you all the details and then you being prepared in advance. But I will let you know that the bug gym kind of has the same leveling scaling as what your typical first gym in a Pokemon game is. And on the other end of the scale, you have the fighting encounter, which is going to be more on the level of what a typical Elite Four member is. So if you do intend to go to the fighting gym straight away, just be aware that you are basically fighting a typical Elite Four leveled character, and you might find that you just get easily ruffle stomped. However, you could grind and try to take it out yourself, but then the entire game is basically going to be easy for you. So with that all being said, let me know in the comments below which storyline you're most excited to try out first. Personally, I'm probably more excited for the Titans than anything else, but that's just because I have seen a bit of the storyline and I also want to kind of upgrade my bike as soon as possible. And whilst you're down there commenting, if you are enjoying this content, please let me know by leaving a like as well. And also don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the future videos going forward. We are kind of coming into the peak Pokemon season, so these videos will be coming out a bit more rapid fire than what they have been. And also we are super close to 1,000 subscribers. So if we could get to that milestone before Christmas, that would be pretty awesome for me. But like always, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!